Hello, and thank you for joining us for the very first episode of the new Hunt Forest Group podcast. I'm Martin, and I work in the marketing team here at Hunt Forest Group. For every episode, I will be joined by some of my colleagues from across the business to discuss all things John Deere, agriculture, professional turf, precision technology, and more. On this episode, I'm joined by Dave and Matt from the HFG Precision Technologies team to talk about all things RTK. Hi Dave, hi Matt, welcome to the podcast.
Hi Martin.
Hi Martin.
It's a pleasure to have you both on as the first ever guests on the podcast. How about you introduce yourselves to everyone listening, where you're based and what your role is within the group?
Well, it's a pleasure to be here today at Chilbolton Depot, and this is where I'm based, and I've been on the Precision Ag team here for about 7 years now, and we cover all aspects of precision agriculture. We do a lot of training, installation with customers, obviously talking about our RTK network, I support that. My background is agricultural engineering and then moved into precision ag and really enjoying the job.
Yeah, and I'm visiting today. I'm up from the Netherstowe Depot, so right in the south of the group. I've followed the same path as Dave. I've been a workshop technician for 18 years and then slowly progressed over into the precision ag side of things. Really enjoy my job, the day-to-day, dealing with customers, facing up the problems the job poses to us, and also like my colleague as well, get heavily involved with training.
Thanks guys. I know January is a pretty busy time for the Precision Technologies team, so I really appreciate you joining me today. What have you guys been up to over the past week or so?
Well, it's been a pretty busy few weeks really, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, exactly. So this time of the year, we historically engage with our customers in a lot of precision ag training courses.
Yeah, it's been flat out. So we've been covering the southwest at all our different locations or our depots. We've been doing quite a bit of training with quite a number of customers actually on Gen 4 auto track training really. So it's been a lot of miles, but hopefully worth it, getting the message across there, and hopefully the customers are getting a lot of use out of all the knowledge they're gaining really.
Sounds like it's been a great success, guys. Also sounds like, your roles are as much about making sure customers are aware of the technology and how to use it as much as the technology itself. So the main reason I've got Dave and Matt joining me today is so we can delve a little bit deeper into RTK, what it is and why it's so beneficial to ag and turf customers. So guys, let's start with the basics. What is RTK?
Well, I think I'm going to pass that one over to you, Matt, for a bit of description about what is RTK.
Thanks, Dave. RTK stands for real-time kinematic. And in simple terms, it is a highly accurate technique used to increase the accuracy of a signal. Okay, so to put it into a different term, it's the same as using your sat-nav in your car. If you buy a very cheap sat-nav, it will take you to a location around an address. And if you buy a really expensive sat-nav, it will take you to the letters on somebody's door. So that is the difference between a standard signal and an RTK signal.
So yeah, basically we've got a fixed reference point, which is our base station, and the GPS receiver is saying where its position is, and then it's getting reference from our base station and giving that correction back, which is using a cellular network with a SIM card and a modem, and recorrecting that receiver and putting it exactly on the line.
So it's fair to say it's all about extreme accuracy. RTK makes everything more precise than just your off-the-shelf solution.
Yeah, so that's probably the simplest way of sort of describing it really. It's quite complicated, but simple terms, yeah, fixed base station, GPS receiver, sending a signal back to that fixed base station, then it's getting corrected and triangulation, sending it back to that receiver and putting you exactly on the line.
I often hear the terms year on year and in-season repeatability. What does that mean?
Right, so just again, quickly just to explain it. So year-on-year repeatability, that is no shift of your guidance lines or boundaries if they're plotted on a full signal, which RTK will acquire a full signal very quickly. Other correction signals, such as like the John Deere SF3, they quote that's a 9 months in season repeatability. So not quite as accurate as RTK, and basically requires it to be plotted at full signal to make that work. So, and quicker acquisition with RTK. So yeah, all in all, worth the money really.
Okay, so it's more about the accuracy and that continued accuracy over a period of time rather than, I guess, would it be fair to say, I could come back on the same path and it would lock on straight away to that path that I previously drove on?
Yeah, that's correct. So, for example, you plotted a boundary and an A-B line in your field. You save that in your display of the machine. You go back there in a year's time, 2 years' time, with RTK, you should be exactly where you were before. And the boundary shouldn't have shifted, or the line. And working throughout the day, you're not going to get any drift, satellite drift.
So what do I need to run it?
So, what first and foremost, we need a John Deere Starfire receiver. So, whether that's an SF6000 or an SF7000 receiver. On top of that, we need a couple of activations, access, and then we need to subscribe to the Hunt Forest RTK network.
Yeah, that's right. So it can be done on a 3000 as well, the older receiver, but we're seeing more 6 and 7000s now. And as Matt said, a couple of activations with the 6000 or the 7 is just one. And a modem of some sort, so that's where your SIM card sits to dial into our fixed base station. So that might be utilising something on the tractor, a modem, or you might see commonly the 2 rubber aerials at the back of the receiver. So that's your modem. And then a SIM card and access license, which we include within our subscription if needed. And if it's on another colour machine, we can also utilise, they would probably have their activations on there, and we just utilise their modem and just put our login details to come into our system.
So that sounds like you need quite a lot of hardware to be able to utilise, the network. Is that the case?
Well, not really, because if you've got a Starfire receiver on the farm, for example, and that might be on SF3 already, so you've got the activation there. All you're looking to do is upgrade it to another activation and add the yearly license, really. So most people on the farm will have a form of receiver, whether it be an SF1 or an SF3, or it might be on another colour. And as long as you've got the correct activations there from the other manufacturer, we can input our details, login details, and get you straight on RTK.
What are the benefits of using RTK?
Well, fundamentally, it's the year-on-year accuracy. It's that ability to have no line shift whatsoever while you're working. And am I correct, Dave, in saying that we've got the ability to adopt a kind of controlled traffic farming situation, but we've also got the flexibility to change. We don't necessarily have to stick to it. We haven't thrown all our eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's right. We've got quite a lot of people in this area that, like to use sort of controlled traffic farming, or they like their tram lines in the same place. So we've got a lot of subscribers out to Bolton that would, definitely benefit from RTK. And, the placement of the product, placement of fertilizer and seed and accuracy with the section control and things like that. That's why people tend to go for RTK.
And have you found people, particularly up at your end of the world, Dave, that have done it because of legislation and restrictions surrounding sort of waterways and paths, footpaths, etc.? Have they kind of adopted it more to get over these issues?
Yes, we've had quite a few people come on to us that have had like a Wessex Water grant, for example, on the farm. They've got waterways running through the farm, and they've sort of come to us and asked us sort of what technology they can benefit from by means of this utilising the grant. And we sort of advise them, and definitely RTK is going to be more accurate with placement, and certainly near water courses and things like that, it's definitely worth looking into. So yeah, from a grant perspective, we've had quite a few people that come to us for that, and it's been passed and gone through, and they've uprated their receiver to RTK, or they've already had one and they've bought a second one from us. So yeah, definitely worth looking into.
That's a great overview, Dave, on what your customers in Chilbolton are using the RTK network for. Matt, obviously you're based down in Somerset, where farming is a little more livestock heavy. How are your customers benefiting from the accuracy of the network?
I think one of the big drivers has been the continued investment in machinery over the years. Obviously machines have got more expensive, and people are looking for longevity from machines. Newer drivers have come into the industry, etc. And they want to be accurate in what they're doing. They've got there's a lot of as you said, a lot of livestock, so there's a lot of product to get rid of, and we just need to be more accurate with placement of this product and the actual utilisation of it. Farmers are being driven harder and harder and harder with input costs, etc., and actually using this, making more use of it, making use of it very, very accurately. That's been one of the drivers towards more people going down the RTK route. And they've also, like I said, I mentioned the big machinery investment. A typical one is we had a customer come to us, bought a big new 36 metre sprayer. I know, Dave's laughing across the other side of the table because 36 metres in Somerset, bit of an anomaly, but new to spraying, new to a new machine, and didn't want to spend half the time with the booms wrapped into hedges and things. So one of the key things for us was to give him accurate boundaries with a mapped RTK boundary, and so he's got the ability to go back year on year without having to damage his machine. So that's one example of a reason why people are moving to RTK.
So it's fair to say you guys are very ag involved. How would RTK benefit other industries, turf, construction, growers?
So yeah, with our sort of growing precision turf department, we're just building up now. We're seeing quite a bit of sort of precision work within the golf and turf industry, guidance systems on some of the golf equipment, and yeah, certainly RTK would be a benefit for those guys. A lot of these GPS sprayers on the golf courses, they're utilising our RTK now. And in construction industry, that's an area that we would definitely like to grow into. There's obviously use of RTK for surveying systems and on sort of construction machines. And also we've seen it on the growers as well. They want to work at slow speed, doing a really slow operation. GPS guidance will cut out at a certain speed, certainly John Deere. With the RTK, you can auto track at a really low speed. So we've utilised the RTK with a few grower customers that wanted to use a slow speed, and it certainly worked for them.
I think Dave really wants RTK on a golf course because he can't putt straight. What do you think?
Well, we put it on a GPS mapping trolley, so we've got a golf trolley, and we've put guidance system on it, and we've been lending it out to our customers for mapping all their greens and everything. So yeah, who knows?
So with such a variety of applications, this kind of technology really does seem the way forward for anybody looking to improve their day-to-day output and efficiency. I guess the burning question is, what would it cost me today to take out an RTK subscription from HFG?
So mine, the moment of truth. So to subscribe to the Hunt Forest network, it's £808 a year. So, and some of you may be aware that are currently using SF3. This price is very, very similar to what it would cost you to run SF3 for a year. But we're going to give you a better quality of signal, a more accurate signal for, as we said earlier on, an unlimited period of time.
Yeah, and it acquires a signal a lot quicker, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it does. So pulls in a lot quicker, stays there a lot longer, and it's going to be there for infinity, really, or as long as you keep subscribing.
That's right. Yeah, and there's no hidden costs here, is there, either? So we haven't got extra setup fees, we haven't got extra SIM card costs. It's all within the price, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So, and also as well, we are, as we are fully in-house, we support you. We've got pretty much a 24/7 support service. We've got kit that we can prop you up with should your equipment go down. We've got stuff in-house. We can get to you within hours.
I would say that, yeah.
Yeah, keep you moving.
Yeah, demo kit available. So if you wanted a demo on the RTK, we can certainly offer that to you for as however long within reason that you need it, really. But hopefully you would make your mind up pretty instantly with using our RTK.
Thank you both for coming on today. I really appreciate you giving up your time to join us and talking about all things HFG RTK.
Thank you, Martin.
And yeah, definitely been a pleasure to be on the podcast, and thanks for inviting me.
Thanks to Dave and Matt again for their insight into the HFG RTK network. I think we all now know the benefits and advantages the network would bring to operations, not only from an accuracy standpoint, but also for improving efficiency and being able to track and record day-to-day financial elements of running a farm or a golf course, where small margins can make all the difference. And with an annual fee at a relatively small amount, the scope for streamlining outputs and saving cost is huge. For £800, it's got to be worth it. If anyone has any questions for Dave or Matt, or if you'd like to find out more about how the HFG RTK network could benefit you and your operation, be it ag or turf, please get in touch with us or your local Hunt Forest Group branch.
The HFG RTK network, offering optimum coverage in the south and southwest, with year-on-year repeatability and unparalleled backup and product support. Subscribe now for 12 months for just £808. For a free demonstration or more information, visit us online at www.hfg-rtk.co.uk.
Thank you to everyone who's listened in for our first episode. If there are any topics or features you would like us to cover on the podcast in the future, please get in touch with us on social media. We are at Hunt Forest on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok, or email us at marketing@huntforest.com. Until next time, goodbye and thanks for listening.